The lesson for today is going to look at the way that Maurice Sendak drew and imagined and created all his wild things for his book. So we're going to look closely to Mr. Horns here. He has legs with textures that look either like scales or feathers. And then he has like a nice fur, like a sweater type fur with stripes. And he has a very hairy head. He has horns like a bull. And he has a bunch of really sharp teeth. So look at the way he designed his creatures. Mr. Sendak used elements of animals and mixed them together to create a whole different animal. So he used the head of a bull and human feet and the paws of like a cat or something that has hooks. And then rooster head, kind of the body of a rooster. But then look at those feet. That's not rooster feet. It does have a tail of a rooster. So that's the way these awesome wild creatures were created. So let's begin our lesson by learning how to draw this hairy creature. All you need is pencil and paper. So we're going to start with a circle. Big circle. It's a big herald. Remember, the paper is used in a vertical way. It's not asleep. It's awake. It's not asleep. It's awake. Okay? And you most likely want to put your name at the bottom. I'm going to put Helga here, so I know this is my herald. So let's start with the face. So Harold has these big eyes, and remember they're yellow. When we color them, we're going to have to do yellow eyes because... So I'm going to color them black inside and leave a little bit of a white space. That is always good. Okay, so we have eyes. You're doing it with pencil. I'm doing it with a Sharpie so you can see better in the video, okay? And then the nose is like a pear. It's like this big ooh thingy. Okay? And we can make the horns. Horns are like half a moon. Now we're moving to his mouth. He has a big smile, a mouth that goes from one side of his face to the other one. And then he has a lot of sharp teeth. And now we need to make the hair. So hair just can be lines, you see? Spooky hair. It's looking, we can keep going. We can take some more time. You can pause the video whenever you want to go, and whenever you need to pause. Okay, so next, let's do the body of Mr. Harold. So Mr. Harold's body is also an oval. I'm going to create little wavy lines around to create a sense, a texture of his fur being stripes. Okay. Now we're going to make an arm. So the arm comes here right next below the head, and you make one line and you make another line that is called parallel, that they are right next to the other one in a certain distance. And we're going to make 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He has this kind of round thing here. He's saying hi. Hi. And the other one is coming down the other arm, but this hand is kind of going side to his body, so he's kind of walking around. So he is Looking good. He's saying hi. Then we're gonna make him be walking. Okay? So let's see how we do this. One leg is this way. So it's like a letter L. And then you can do and then we're gonna make the scales like the texture. Remember we looked at the texture? It was like triangles. This one, I'm gonna go over my signature. 1, 2, 3, 4. He only has 4 toes. I just decided that. He is gonna have only 4 toes. I am gonna finish doing some details to this guy, and you can finish yours, okay? This is my final drawing of Mr. Harold. I call him that. I added some background, I added details, and that way I made it my own. I hope you do the same with yours. Let's move on to another character. I created another animal, another wild thing. Her name is Teresa. Teresa has the face of an alligator. She has a very nice perm with a nice bow, the body of a giraffe, and a little fuzzy tail like a deer tail. And then she has these legs of creatures that I don't know what they are, but I made them up. So this is Teresa, and I'm gonna show you how to make Teresa, okay? Start with a alligator face. So it's like making a rectangle, but then you add a nose to it, and that creates the face. That's not the part of the alligator. And then you just do teeth all the way. Okay? Then you're gonna go up, and maybe you're gonna make the ears. Teresa's ears. You're gonna make the hair. Goes even in front of the ear. Now to make the eye, you just create a circle and you just color it. So we have the face of Teresa. We're gonna make a long neck, and then we're gonna create it is also like a rectangle, but it's kind of round in the front because animals don't have rectangle bodies, but they have rectangle-like kind of shapes for their body. Then you can make whatever tail you want. I'm going to make my kind of, I don't know, furry tail. And if you want to make look like she has the spots of a giraffe, you just make squares right next to the other ones, and maybe a triangle, and you make them sideways, then you stick another one here, and that is going to create the texture of the giraffe. So the legs start from the body, and I'm going to make, see, it's like an L but looking the other way. Let me see, same thing here. I don't know. Each time I draw, it looks different. So you have 2 legs, but she has 4 legs. So the legs, this one is in the front of the body, the other one is in the back. So we're not going to see, but only kind of showing a little bit. You see? And this one might be more in the back. So you can barely see him. See those back legs, but they're there. And then I'm going to create a texture of lines in here. So take your time, keep working on your Teresa, and I'm going to keep working on it as well. Now we're done with Harold and Teresa, and what we need to do next is come and think about how we are going to color them. I talked about textures all the time. Miss Helga and her textures. Well, you know what? Texture is such an important part of coloring. When you add texture, instead of just coloring the same color, you give life. It's more energetic. It feels more real. It is more fun to look at. So, yes, I'm going to continue to practice textures. This texture was made with crayons that go black and then in a zigzag, in a kind of checkerboard kind of way. And then I add color to a few little of those squares, and look, it looks super fun. This is my giraffe texture. This is just made with zigzag, zigzag, zigzag with purple. And then I added with a darker pink some spaces there. So it's another texture. This is like water drops, like little drops of water on the surface. You see? I made the lines around them a little bit darker. Dark blue and light blue and white. And zebra, easy breezy. And this is just two different kinds of greens. And I go around it. So all these textures will look so good on your wild things. You can combine colors. Purple and blue is a great combination. Pink and purple. These are completely the opposite. It's orange and purple. You see how different these two colors look? Now you can have a start with a color underneath and go with a darker color on top. You can have yellow and add blue in circles. Or you can just kind of go crazy and combine 2 or 3 colors, one on top of the other one. So all these options are for you to explore. I am going to go and start using my crayons. And I am going to spend some time coloring Barbara with textures. So you do the same. Take your time and color with textures. Here is Barbara, a funky wild thing full of textures, super fun. We've made so far Harold, Barbara, and Teresa. 3 awesome wild things. So the next thing you need to do is going to create your own wild thing. I want you to design 2 different faces, 2 different bodies, and 2 different sets of feet. And then you can combine them together in different ways to create your own wild thing. For example, my son did a lionfish. He has a face of a lion and the body of a fish. And he even created a background for it. So let's get busy. Do your own thing. And when you're done, I want to see those pictures sent to your Seesaw page. This has been awesome. I've had a great time, and I'll see you soon.